Hi everybody, we're going to start today with a short video explaining the art room procedures and rules so we can start off on the right foot. Let's get started. You can call me Miss Art. Now when I'm not in the art room with you, I love to create on my own by painting murals, creating wearable art, and loving on my sweet baby Nikki art dog. She loves to paint alongside her mommy. Just look at that artist beret. But back to the art room. When you guys create with me this year, you'll be learning a lot of materials and tools, including painting, 3D cardboard mask making, drawing, an iPad digital art, and ceramics, and printmaking. But we can't do all this without some rules, so let's talk about the artist rules now. Above the Learning Goals whiteboard, you will find the artist rules. Artists in the art room will A. Always sit safely. Make sure your bottom's on your chair, your body's pushed into the table so you're not in the aisle so we can walk through, and make sure that your hands are to yourself. R. Raise your hand to ask a question or share a story. Please do not shout out and interrupt when I am teaching. When it is your turn, I will let you know when you may raise your hand and ask questions or share. T. Talk quietly to your table buddies. Now I let you guys speak quietly when you are working on your art, which is not like a lot of other classes. But you just have to make sure that you are using a level 2 indoor voice and just talking to people at your table, not shouting across the room and distracting others. I immediately follow directions. When I ask you to do something, please do it the first time. We don't have a lot of time together in art. We see each other once a week for 40 minutes. So please follow directions quickly so we get a lot out of art class. S. Stay on task. Focus and use your imagination and creativity. I know you guys have a great imagination, but all you have to do is just focus and complete your art project and experiment with all of the things that I'm going to teach you guys. Now, most art projects take 4 classes, so make sure that you're not talking to your neighbor too much so you actually have a project that you can be proud of. T. Take care of your art room. Everybody in here has an art job, including me. You have an art job to clean up or help your classmates with art supplies or putting their artwork away. So let's all do our job so the art room runs smoothly. Happy sad points. If the class is making me happy and following all the artist rules, the class is going to get happy points. It's right here up on my board, right next to my desk. Now, if you're not doing a great job, I get points and I get some sad points. Now, whoever at the end of art has the most points wins. And if you guys win, I put a sticker on your class chart, and if you get 5 stickers, the class can vote on what special activity they would like to do in art the next week. You guys could vote on having a snack, sitting with your friends, listening to music, playing with the iPads, or doing a special art project. Nobody wants to create when it's too loud in the art room, so we're going to be using our 2-level inside voice, and we're going to be Mona Lisa quiet. When I say Mona, you say Lisa, and your eyes should be on the teacher, your mouth should be closed, and you should set all of your tools and materials on the table so your hands are empty and still. Another way I get your attention is clap, and then you guys are going to clap in response and then stop, look, and listen. We're going to practice that at some point today. Now, if the class is getting a little too loud, I have the volume tracker posted on my smartboard. Everybody starts off on green, but if we're getting too loud, I move it to yellow and we have to use our whisper voices. If we're still not quieted down, I move it to red where nobody can talk until further notice. After you listen to the introduction and see the demo of what you're going to do for the day, the art jobs begin. Last year you might have sat in a chair that told you your art job, but this year there's something new. You are going to see the number that you will do the art job of straight ahead on the wall that you are facing forward. So if you face forward right now, and if you are looking at the number 1, that will be your art job. I like to change these up every art class, so we have a different art job for you, so you get to try a variety, so not everybody has the same job all the time. The day you come into art, you might be the supply grabber and the supply returner. When I say it's time, my number 1 people can go up to the supply station and grab enough supplies for everybody sitting at their table. As soon as you get your supplies, you can start creating and using your imagination. But let's say your pencil's broken. What you're going to do is bring it over to the extra supply spot, which is right there. You're going to put in a broken pencil in the red cup and take a sharpened pencil out of the green cup. Also, if you're missing erasers or scissors or glue, those are also in the extra supply area. And see that purple bucket? That is filled with the table clips which my art job people that put away the artwork will go up to grab at the end of class. When it's time to stop and clean up, art job 2 begins. They get to clip the papers at their table in their color table clip and locate their class drawer. Now, if we're not painting and putting things on the drying rack, the number 2 people are art storage, and they will store the art in the class drawer until next week. Another job in the art room is clean crew. They're going to make sure at the end of every art class that the table bin looks like this. Make sure there's no trash in there or supplies that belong on the supply station. Also, my number 3s are the people that get to wipe off the table with the sponges after we've made a mess. Now, we're not going to wipe a sponge every art class, so just when Miss Art asks you to, you're going to get a sponge, wring it out in the sink so all the water comes out. Don't worry, there's still going to be enough water on the sponge to lightly wipe the table off, and they're going to put the sponge back in the messy materials sink on the left. Now let's talk about your conduct grade. Every marking period, you get a conduct grade. If you're doing an especially great job, I'm going to send a positive note home that looks like this. You don't have to return it. It's just a way to go. I also give out good notes, which look like these. And also this year is the Rise Recognition Note home, which is also a great job that you are doing. So let's look forward to getting some good news home. A note from the art room that is a corrective step that I do after warnings and maybe after timeouts is a negative note home. This has to be signed by an adult at home and returned by the next art class, or I will call home and have a conversation, or send an email home to explain what poor choices were made during art class by that student. Wondering how you got that grade in art? Well, check out the artist rubric. It's posted right on the wall by the smartboard. In art, your art project can earn a score of E, excellent, V, very good, S, satisfactory, or N for needs improvement. So during class, if you have a question about where you are on your grade, you can just ask me and I'll point out the color that corresponds to where you are on reaching the learning goals, which are always posted on the whiteboard. If we have time and you are finished with your artwork and you have checked it with me, you can go to the free time area. Here, there's pieces of paper that you can draw on, or whiteboards. If you have a whiteboard marker, please take 1 or 2. There's also foam blocks to build things with, and how to draw books. Now at the end, when it's cleanup time, make sure that you clean up after yourself and make it look like it does in this photo, nice and neat. After cleanup time, it's time to call color tables. Now I know everybody loves to do this, but please don't ask me. I will invite you. Now if you are chosen, you are going to use your teacher eyes and look to see what tables are all cleaned up, are sitting quietly, and are showing you that they're ready to line up. When this happens, you're going to hold that color table up and they're going to push their chairs in and line up and walk to their number in line. Make sure your eyes are on the door, your feet are on the floor on your number, and your hands are behind your back, and say no more. Now when your teacher comes, if you're the number 1 person, you have to look out that door so you can push the heavy door open so she can get in. Say no more, because when your teacher arrives, she doesn't want to wait for you to stop talking and get hallway ready. Just be ready for when she arrives, and smile when she does. I know we covered a lot, but it's really important for a successful art class. So thank you so much for your attention. So let's keep this day going. Thanks, guys.